NPR has been defunded. Cue the parade! But doesn't mean they're not going to continue their toxic bad faith reporting. Welcome to the Jason Rantz Show, presented by None Better Tax Resolution. Senate Republicans, spurred by President Donald Trump, advanced a rescissions package aimed at clawing back $1.1 billion in funding for the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. That's the primary vehicle through which NPR and PBS received taxpayer dollars. Now, it was passed early Thursday morning. This is great news. Not because NPR was a biased source, they obviously are, but because there was no reason for preferential treatment coming from the government to any media outlet. But to be clear, it is a biased liberal media outlet. Whether you want to consume NPR or not, the principle stands. Why should federal tax dollars underwrite journalism and programming that's consistently liberal? Most Americans don't tune in, and those who do often pay via corporate underwriting or local fund drives. So why should you, a taxpayer in Puyallup or Seattle, Snohomish, Issaquah, whether you listen or not, why should you be footing the bill? NPR content, both locally and nationally, let's be clear, it's produced for older progressives who cry over their white guilt while drinking oat milk lattes on their drive to Lululemon to buy a pair of $80 yoga pants. Let them pay for NPR. Imagine the uproar if your tax dollars were used to subsidize commercial talk radio like, the Jason Rantz Show on KTTH. Social media would flare up instantly. Why is the government bankrolling this brilliant conservative talk show host? How dare they use taxpayer dollars to push a witty, intelligent, gorgeous, and humble partisan host? How dare they? Yeah, it's a point that Senator Mike Lee, the Republican from Utah, made on X this week, floating the idea to push a bill to publicly fund my radio show on KTTH. But this is not about saving one institution or even crusading against media bias. This is about fairness. It's about principle. If it's unacceptable to tax the public to fund any media outlet, especially partisan ones, then it's inconsistent to defend that subsidy only when it aligns with your worldview. If the government shouldn't pick winners and losers in the media landscape, then none of it deserves special treatment, left, right, or center. You see, KTTH exists because there's a marketplace for it. Is there a marketplace for NPR? Yeah, I think so. So why exactly then would the government be compelled to fund it? Exploring the white supremacy of emojis is not doing a public service, no matter what MSNBC host will tell you. Now, to be clear, the defunding of NPR doesn't end NPR. Federal dollars only accounted for a couple or 3 percentage points of their budget. They're going to still exist. They're still going to have to make up for the funding in the marketplace, but they're going to. And they will continue, which means they're going to keep putting out bad faith reporting intended to harm conservatives and bolster Democrats. So just because we cut taxpayer funds doesn't mean the fight is over. We still have to stay vigilant and call out their toxic brand wherever it rears its ugly head. Hey, it's Jason Rantz here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn of None Better Tax Resolution. We've got a brand new administration in place. They've been in for a while. There have been some changes with the IRS.
There has been changes, and it's been in the news, and everyone knows that it's there, and that is, like everything else, there's been a big reduction in agents.
Well, there's some people right now who say, well, that's great news. That means I'm not going to have to pay. Oh, no, they're definitely coming after you.
They're still coming after you. In fact, they have really upped their game as far as changing some of their computer technology, the sequencing of collection notices. They go out much faster and more frequent and less of them. It used to be there'd be 5 or 6 notices that would come out before they finally said, hey, this is your final notice.
Yeah.
Now they're doing 3.
So if you're having trouble with the IRS, you have to call Greg Nunn of None Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions.